In this video, you will learn about anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and stress, and what the difference is between the two, and how they work. So it's going to be quite interesting, even if I say so myself. Now, suppose that you and we are walking in the jungle. And we're having fun, because it's fun in the jungle. You have lots of beautiful spiders. We all love spiders, don't we? You have nice flowers. You have birds that can sing songs. Whew, very nice. And we're walking in the jungle. And all of a sudden, there's a bush moving. Some people are afraid of bushes. And if a bush is moving right next to you, what are we going to have? We are going to have a stress response. Our mind is going to think things like, oh, what if there's a monster behind the bush? What if there's something bad behind the bush? What if? Every time that you think what if in your life, what if this happens, what if that happens, you launch the stress response. Now the stress response is not as fierce or not as strong as the anxiety attack, as the anxiety response, as we will see. So what our mind says, okay, something might be wrong, something might be behind the bush, we're not sure. Okay, that's great, but we are already going to get some symptoms and we are going to be a little bit afraid possibly. That's the stress response. Okay, we are continuing our little walk in the jungle. We're still enjoying all the flowers, and right in front of us we see a beautiful flower. And it's a little bit orange, white and black, and it moves. And all of a sudden we think, a moving flower. Orange, white and black, I've never seen that before, and actually it looks like a tiger. You know why it looks like a tiger? Because it is a tiger. And all of a sudden there's a tiger right in front of us in the jungle. At that moment, we're not afraid of something that might be behind a bush. We know that there's a danger right in front of us because the tiger is standing right there and he looks at us. And it's not Tony the tiger, it's one of those bad types of tigers. At that moment we get an anxiety attack, we get a panic attack. And it's a great feeling at that moment, because we are in a life or death situation. The thing that our body will launch is the fight or flight response. It'll make our heart pound very fast. It'll pump blood to our muscles. It'll take away the blood from our stomach, so we might have a little bit of nausea, we might have a little bit of a strange feeling in our stomach, our intestines might do some strange things, we might start sweating, we might have a feeling that we're about to faint, because all of the blood will be in our muscles to run away or to fight with the tiger. And at that moment there isn't enough blood in our head, so we might get a little bit of a lightheadedness, we might start to shake a little bit, but who cares, right? Because we're standing in the jungle and there's a freaking tiger right in front of us. At that time, if you would be standing there with me, might it be possible that you would say, hey Geert, I am a little bit afraid, because I'm afraid I might be vomiting. Am I having a heart attack? Oh, I'm getting a flushed face. What are other people going to think of me? I'm afraid there's something wrong with me. Maybe I have a tumor. Maybe I have some kind of disease. No, we're not going to think that, because there's a tiger in front of us. So the anxiety response is a very good thing, because it is going to make our chance of survival very, very high. And that is something great, of course, because we are probably going to survive. We'll be able to run even faster than before thanks to that mechanism. Great. Now what happens when we are in a certain situation in our lives and all of a sudden we think we see a tiger, we think the bush is moving somewhere, when it isn't? What if all of a sudden something happens in your life? You have to drive your car, you have to go into a restaurant, you're waiting in line in a supermarket, and you're waiting there, and all of a sudden you sense that something is going on in your body. You sense that you have that pounding heart. At that moment something spectacular happens. You sense the first symptom, and I don't care what the symptom is, it might be something different than what I'm saying right now, but you sense something is wrong. At that moment you think, uh-oh, what if something is wrong? What if I'm going to die? That's simply the stress response. That's the bush that was moving. But this is an internal panic attack. You are sensing something and you get afraid. What does our body do? When it is afraid of something, it says, okay, I am afraid of something, there must be a tiger in front of me. And if you think that there's a tiger, all of the systems are going to launch. So you will get the pounding heart, you will get the lightheadedness, you will get the strange symptoms in your stomach, in your intestines, the sweating, the feeling of warmth that is going through your body. You'll feel all of that. And you say, oh my gosh, I mean, there must be really something wrong with me. And your body says, oh, there's not just one tiger in front of me, there are two, so I'm going to fire it up even more. And you launch a vicious circle, and that is a full-blown panic attack. Now the stupid thing is that there is no tiger in front of us, and our body thinks that there is a tiger in front of us. It doesn't know that there isn't. Now one of the best techniques, of course, to not be afraid of those symptoms when you have them is to simply say, okay, the more that I think about these right now, the more that I get scared of my internal symptoms, the more that I'm going to launch the fight or flight response, and that's something that I can control. So when you feel those symptoms, the very simplest and the best trick that you can do is to simply accept them. To simply say, okay, I'm not feeling great right now, but I'm not in a situation where there's a tiger. And the things I'm feeling right now are part of the system in my body that is trying to keep me alive. It is trying to keep you alive, so there's nothing wrong with your body. And if you think those things, then you will already be able to calm yourself down. It is not the best method to stop a panic attack. It's the simplest method, and it's the one that I can explain in this one single video. If you want to learn more, if you want to learn step processes, tsunami methods, the lemon method that I invented to stop panic attacks, simply make sure that you start the CD courses on ilovepanicattacks.com. But this method that I said right now, simply accepting it, saying, okay, I'm feeling some weird things right now, and I don't like them, but I'm going to accept them, because I know my body thinks there's a tiger in front of me, and there isn't. But still, I'm launching the entire system here, and the more I get afraid of these things, the worse it'll get. It's normal. And if you are afraid and it gets worse, then tell it to yourself. Say, okay, this is normal. I am firing it up. Nothing else besides me is doing it. I am doing it. If you get that switch in your head, if you understand that, then that'll already be a very big change in your life. So I hope you will try it, and I hope I continue to see you on the website when I send out the other videos. Bye bye for now, and I'll see you next time.